Welcome, everybody. This is Jack Thomas at the Happy Spot. We're at talkradio.nyc, and today is a big day. We're in the universe. The shift is changing. Dr. Dona has connected us with some great professionals that working in the alternative health and wellness community. But why today's a big day? We are in a political war. I don't know what the war is. The way I see a war, it's time. I'm 59, born and bred, working in New York, and I've been blessed to meet all the different cultures of the world and how we exchange ideas, and then people become envious of us. New York City. Today at a 44th Street, that's what we're doing. We're entertaining people that have different viewpoints on how to get well, and we're hoping at the Happy Spot that this will expand into our network, which is with the Octopus Movement in 121 countries. So I'd like to first welcome the beautiful young lady coming in from Brooklyn and going to talk to us about wellness. Please take the floor. We're going to have about a 15-minute segment where floor is yours. I'd love to hear a few minutes about you personally. Where are you coming from? How are you navigating your business life? And ultimately, at the end of the day, you now have an advocate of your side. I've been in the insurance wellness community for over 30 years, and we're looking to help you solve a business problem today. And if not today, we'll be able to follow up and make sure that you're succeeding to serve all the communities we want. Thank you for joining us. Please share with us who you are, where you're from, and what makes you happy. You're going to have to unmute yourself. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jack Thomas. It's an honor, a pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you also so much, Dr. Dona, for this opportunity. My name is Nadej Petit Frere. I am a registered nurse. I've been a nurse now for, I would say, since 2010. Yeah, so it's been quite a while. And this is something that I love doing. I love helping people. I love when people are well. My husband and I, we started a home care agency, I would say about 8 years ago, because we wanted to step up the notch and do a little bit more for our community. So we are J&N Exquisite Home Care Agency, and whether you're a grandparent, a parent, spouse, a child, a loved one, whatever it is that you need help with on a daily basis, after maybe a hospital stay, we have well-trained team here to really help you. We offer services ranging from companion care, skilled nursing, memory care, personal care. And, our core values are integrity, respect, consistency, compassion, commitment. We are it. Yes.
So thank you so much. And your flow of information in my brain, just so everybody knows, I'm autistic. I'm neurodivergent, and my head is like popcorn because there's so many questions I just want to ask. So,
All
so,
right.
so number one, right? I'm a five borough, right? I'm a bridge and tunnel guy. I lived in Manhattan, but I'm a bridge and tunnel guy. So my family, born and bred in Queens, Jamaica, Flushing. Then we moved out to Long Island, but I worked in Brooklyn. So, where's your primary place of clients you're servicing? One, and number two, from a political, not political, but Hochul, right? Governor Hochul changed the level of service of who is getting compensated in your world. Have you and your husband been affected by the shift of providers? Has that been good or bad for your business is my main question.
So at the moment, thank you so much for your question. At the moment, we serve Central Jersey, looking forward to expanding in the 5 boroughs in the near future. And
So
as
Central
far as
Jersey, Central Jersey, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm from New York. I'm from Jersey. So if you're from Jersey, the joke is, but I was in Central Jersey today. I was in Middletown, New Jersey today. So what do you call Central Jersey?
Okay, so we're located right now in Somerset, New Jersey. I would say we are located in Somerset, New Jersey. However, we do serve um, the different counties in New Jersey.
So you have the ability of serving all counties. You have the
That
ability,
question?
you have the ability of serving all counties. So from Somerset, you can go up to Bergen.
Correct, correct. That's correct.
And so how do people access your information? Because I didn't realize, and excuse my ignorance, I didn't realize you were Jersey based. I had some impression from Dr. Dona of New York. My apologies again there. But that's the example of the home health care. You know, I grew up in New York City, but raised my family in Jersey, and how we're so similar, but yet so different of how that treatment is. And I think if I was older, I'd rather be taken care of in Jersey. I think Jersey could be a little kinder than New York can be sometimes to the elderly. What's your thoughts?
Sound like you were breaking up just a tad bit, but I absolutely agree. I'm a Jersey girl, and we provide excellent care here in Jersey.
So I see someone chiming in. Is
It's
this your husband?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening.
yes, my handsome husband and co-business partner.
Yes, good evening. How are you,
So
sir?
he wanted to jump in. So this is an open forum. So please, whatever was on your mind, open forum for you to have a chance to speak your mind and promote your business.
Well, thank you. I'd like to say very foremost, thank you so much for the opportunity to even be here to share a few words. I just wanted to say this is a really, really great opportunity, and thank you for giving us the time because it is the time that we have to really put ourselves out there and really to promote the business of health wellness that we've been talking about, we've been planning it. So now we say this is the time, and we thank also Dr. Donald for the even helping us get in contact with you to have the opportunity to share our views. And as my wife mentioned, our business in home care, we take great pride on what we do because our background is nursing. And from the things that we have done and see at the bedside, and we want to make sure that, if we get the chance to provide care for somebody, they get the best. They get the best of it. Whether it's from a nursing standpoint or from a home health aid standpoint. So we make sure we have the best people to take care of our clients and to make sure that they have the best care. The training that they receive, the training that we have, because our background, we have over 3 decades and been in nursing for over 3 decades combined. Um,
So hold on. So I, I'm going to be a consumer here if I can.
Jack, it
And
sounds like
so
you're
as a consumer, I hear the best. Sounds like what?
sounds
well,
like you're
you will
breaking
break.
up.
Yeah, I think we got a little unstable piece there for a moment. Sorry about that. My question, um, when you say good, what is something that we as a consumer should ask to have proof or certificate that you are better than everybody else?
Well, thank you so much for the question because it, it there's many home care agency or different, healthcare, agency out there. So your question actually is a very great question. So, what would we say, in ourselves that makes us look different or unique in the care that we provide? Because, um, first of all, the care that we provide, it's really tailored to the different, the specific to the client. Because um I'll say, like, personally, me personally, I have growing up, I have taken care of my grandparents and other family members, like, when they were sick. I know the difference when it is that when you have somebody that's really caring for you, taking care of you, versus for somebody who not to say that they don't care, but there's a different level of it. So when you're caring for somebody and your heart is in it, you can feel it. There's a difference, and that's what we in Gen X and home care, that's what we do when we have a client that we're taking care of. It we it's not just a task, it's not just there's an order, but it involves the whole family. There's like a whole family surrounding it. You don't feel like you have a healthcare personnel taking care of you, but it's much more than that. You know that you have a healthcare personnel taking care of you, but it's also a family member taking care of you because of the way that you receive the care. So there's a level of trust, there's a level of dependence, because you know that once you have that person, that it's all taken care of. Even as far as the family member, they know that once we enter that home, they know that their parents have been well taken care of. I don't know if that answers your question.
You did, and thank you so much. And so my main word I took away, and I want everyone that will hear, if not now, in the future and ongoing, because this will sit out on the internet, it's trust. And so that was a conversation I was having with Dr. Dona the other day, that we have a shared trust. Now, I am fortunate that I'm in Dr. Dona's universe and been allowed into her family and know her for almost 10 years. And so in time, we've earned that trust, but you're not given that luxury, right? You have to have the trust starting at hello. So I'm grateful for how you have built your business. We cater to the neurodivergent community, which in America is autism, being on the spectrum, multitude of different titles. So we're going to go to commercial break, and we're going to introduce another group from Blackbird, let them talk. What I'd love to have you do is come back on our third segment, right? And we'll have a third and fourth. So you'll take a side for 15 minutes. We'll have them come on, listen in, and then we'll have a segment of trust and how we build our community and what that looks like. We learn from you, you learn from us. We introduce you into our community, and that's how we build relationships. We'll be right back. We're going to go to break. And thank you so much for jumping in and having the family affair, because that's what this is about. Be right back. Jack Thomas at the Happy Spot.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, Thursdays, 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a high-achieving, growth-oriented leader? Are you interested in developing your authentic leadership while creating a healthy, inclusive workplace? Hi, I'm Dr. Mira Brancu, host of The Hard Skills on talkradio.nyc at 5 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays, where we discuss how leaders develop the hard skills needed to make a greater impact. We interview experts, have live coaching, and tackle these challenges. Listen to The Hard Skills on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC. Uplift, educate, empower.
Welcome back. This is the Happy Spot, Jack Thomas. Today, we have guests coming in from Dr. Dona's community. Dr. Dona is our Chief Medical Officer at the Happy Spot. And we are part of the neurodivergent community internationally. We are fortunate we're representing the octopus movement, and we're bringing wellness into our community. So we have Blackbird sitting in our waiting room, and we're hoping that they're going to jump right in here and turn their video on. There we go. Miss Fleming, thank you so much. So the happy spot, we're a multicultural wisdom world of creating a safe space. So Miss Fleming, you're on mute right now. And so as a safe space, we were talking earlier, you know, we're on off Broadway right now. We're on West 44th Street. We're being sent into 121 countries. The Octopus Movement Talk Radio, right? 3.6 million. But when we stay local, so where are you, Miss Fleming? What is local to you? Are you in New York, New Jersey? Give us a little flavor of what your day was like today, please.
Yes, I am in New York. My office is in Rockland
Miss
County.
Fleming is frozen.
Am I?
So we'll look.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Uh-oh. All right, if you can hear me, I'll just reintroduce myself if I'm having technical difficulties. My name is Tanadrian Fleming. I also own an agency and a home care agency with specific population, which is traumatic brain injury individuals, and NHTD, which is working specifically with seniors. And we work with them in their home, the capacity of an independent living skills training support. I've been doing that for almost 3 years. We really love working with individuals under this HCBS waiver. We've been serving individuals from all the way from Ulster County all the way now to Queens. I've been working in home care and as an operational owner and leader for almost 15 years. I also have a master's in clinical psychology and I have a master's in public administration with a background in health service management. And I've worked with various populations from kids with autism, seniors, substance abuse, but I really love working with individuals with traumatic brain injury. I've learned a lot from them, and I really see where protective safeguards and community is very important. And that's how I birthed Blackbird. Blackbird Smart Innovations is a smart wearable technology company. We are on track to be the best smart wearable technology device. We have 4 coming on the market. The official launch for everything is in October. So all of our devices are in the beta stage. The first device operates as a Bluetooth. It pairs with your smartphone, whether it's an Android or an iPhone. And that you need to download the app, which is also available in the Google Play and the Apple Store, called Blackbird Smart Tech. The mobile application is where all the protective data is stored. All the protective data where you have identifiers, profiles, you can upload documents. So not only do we track real-time data with the geolocation, we also now provide critical care data to first responders in the event of a crisis. So that is the first device that we have on the market. We
Miss
included,
Fleming,
yes,
that is awesome information. Thank you so much. So I just wanted to pause for a second,
yeah,
just so I could take it in, because our audience is listening and they're going to have the beauty of going back and they can listen and learn more. But what I heard was there's a safety that is stored. So if you can maybe expand upon that a little bit,
yes.
that,
So I would, what like I said, I'm just going to reference the population that I work with, which is traumatic brain injury. And a lot of individuals, their environment now, to them is very harmful because of their brain trauma. they really have a hard time navigating their community now. So that really caused a lot of stress with them. So I realized giving them a safety technology device that is exclusive and tailor-made to them would really help them.
Please
So
elaborate.
not
Wait,
not
wait, wait,
only
whoa, slow down, slow, because I'm curious. Curious.
yes.
So, how does it help them? What does it do? So for me, the reason why I'm asking is I use technology, I use sound, like I use headphones to calm myself because I am autistic and I'm
Yes.
neurodivergent. So I'm in New York City and sometimes loud sounds can unsettle me. So is that something that your device does?
Here it comes. See if you can see it. Okay, I'm sorry if you can't see it. It's a smart wristband. So it's similar to a smartwatch, right? So we
Gotcha.
have a smartwatch. So we have this is the first one, and the second one is actually an LTE. That one is actually a pendant and a watch interchangeable. It has the first ever QR code stored in the watch where all of your protective identifiers are. So, in the event, let's just say you are hearing impaired and you need to communicate that one effectively, you can use the smartwatch. You can transmit all the data and write all the data inside of the mobile application. So, that's the two that we have on the market. And then we have the first ever button that's coming on that will also connect you to our mobile application. So in the event you don't want to wear the smartwatch, you don't want to wear the pendant in the smartwatch, you still want to have the protection of the mobile application and all the identifying information of the medical ID. Now we can sew the button on. You can still be tracked with the SOS, so which means that you can still connect to the tower and you can still take a picture of it and pair it with your phone and it can still connect to our mobile application where all the identifying information is.
So that's great. So you mentioned your community. So where is your community? So where is your headquarters? Are you
In
Brooklyn,
Rockland County,
Rockland County? Great.
yeah, New City, New York.
New City, New York. And I know New City, New York. I used to live about 15 minutes south of there in North Jersey. So familiar with the area. Um, and so you say the community. So Dr. Dona, she's a chief medical officer in multiple locations, New York, New Jersey. Um, how does a doctor like her, recommend your program or your product? How does that happen? How do we help promote you?
Well, it would be extremely beneficial, especially individuals with kids with autism who wanders off all the time. Our watch will provide I want to say an additional layer of safety because not only they track them in real time of movement, it also track their history. So any event they go outside of whatever target area you program, their family members then would get an alert. Those are the individuals that are stored in what we identify as the protective community. So inside the app, you will see a notice it says protective community. In that, you can put in up to 10 people. So if you go outside of a certain location, or if you fall because it's a fall detection, that family member or the first responders, whoever you decide to store in it, will get an alert or a phone call, let them know that you are outside of the area that's programmed. So we provide immediate protection ongoing.
Got it. Thank you. So this is really great stuff. So when I was a kid younger, using some generational humor, there was a TV show that showed grandma and grandpa. I was probably 15. I'm just shy of 60 now. And it was called Clap On, Clap Off. And you look a lot younger than me, but you would clap and the light would go on, light would go off. You could have an emergency button, but now it sounds like the sophisticate that you're having a watch. So does it
Yeah.
work with the Apple Watch or is it its own standalone watch?
So we have one that's a Bluetooth standalone. We have one that's an LTE, which is an actual phone. You can make video calls. So instead of you can actually, if you're in a crisis, you can say, call mom, call dad, call my daughter, and they can actually see and actually communicate with the first responders through the video technology. But if you have your own Apple Watch or Android watch. We also have a medical ID sleeve that slips on there that have your personalized and customized QR code that connects you to the mobile application, where again, where all of your protective information is stored.
So that is great.
So
And-
yes, we can work with Apple Watches.
Great. And so your business, so part is existing now, and then you're launching another piece, or everything is a launch in October?
Yeah, I've been a TBI waiver and NHTD waiver owner. We have close to 100 clients. Either they are TBI or they are under the NHTD waiver, and we serve all the way from Kingston, New York, all the way to Queens. And we're growing every day. That's what gave me the idea to now step into technology space, specifically in wearable technologies, to support them a little bit more. And because I have clients constantly that want to communicate. For example, I have clients that want to travel in the airports, but they're afraid. They used to travel before the brain injury. But now, after the brain injury, they can no longer, they're afraid. So I want to create a mechanism of support and protection. So when they do travel, they now have a communication device that now they can communicate their way to the TSA, to the community. God forbid if they've passed out, they now know who to call, how to properly treat them. That way, that critical time is now being properly taken care of versus leaving up to the first responders to guess, to move, and then go to another doctor, then they guess. So it's a lot of time spent trying to figure out, when I now created a solution for that. So now they have everything that you can store inside of your protective mobile application, and also with the QR code that's in the watch. Anybody with a smartphone, if you're in crisis, can take a picture of the watch. It would go right to a protective page where you store whatever you. Okay.
Ms. Fleming, thank you so much. We're about to go to break, and the
Okay.
information you're providing is so critical. So what I want to do is just say thank you. This has
Thank you.
Well, we're not over, right? The games have just begun. And so when I say the games, life to me is a game and business is a game. So when we come back in our next segment, what I want to do is build upon the trust that Dr. Dona brought to business owners. And our next segment is going to be what we call cross exchange. And so in that cross exchange, how we can have the two different business individuals, how you can join your business education through Dr. Dona and make money together. With that being said, we'll be back in 1 minute to jump into our cross-sectional conversation on how Dr. Dona brings family members together in helping businesses and communities. Be right back. Jack Thomas at the Happy Spot.
Hey everybody, it's Tommy D, the nonprofit sector connector, coming at you from my attic. Each week here on talkradio.nyc, I host a program, Philanthropy in Focus. Nonprofits impact us each and every day, and it's my focus to help them amplify their message and tell their story. Listen each week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on talkradio.nyc.
Hi, I'm Linda Marsanico. The A Train to Sedona is a memoir about my journey to love and compassion. It's also the name of my new broadcast on Wednesdays at 12 noon. When we are spiritual, we embrace possibilities and ideas, which strengthen our mind, body, spirit, health, and wisdom. On the A Train to Sedona broadcast, I plan to interview guests who embrace these expansive practices. Join us on Wednesdays at 12 noon on Talk Radio New York City.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc. Now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
Thank you, everybody. Jack Thomas at the Happy Spot, and we have Dr. Dona's guests, and we've been talking about different segments of wellness. Segment number one, coming out of Somerset, serving New Jersey and looking after the community. Number two, we have Ms. Fleming coming out of New City, New York, and a device on wellness. And so, Ms. Fleming, if you could join us back in here, what I'd love to do, thank you, is kind of share with you the concept of what the Happy Spot is about with Ms. Dona. So in 2018, I'm a business advisor. I'm working with all different communities. My expertise is in the automotive world and transportation. So if you're a bus company, if you're a distributor, if you're repairing, there's a whole community that is built in there. And so there would be different professionals you can go to. What Dr. Dona is doing, and I am just helping facilitate gathering different people, is a wellness community. And so we're in a generational shift, whether it's 40 years or 50 years, how we're going to do business after the pandemic, we all know is different, but more importantly, how we take care of our wellness. And so for me, with Dr. Dona, we are giving away a free wellness offer. And I was diagnosed when I was younger being autistic. Chances are they should have put me on medicine. Instead, I just got into fights and therapy. And over time, I found different ways of navigating on how to try and behave in a society, even though if somebody spoke to me and I thought they were an idiot, I thought I should just hit them. But in maturity, you learn that didn't get me far. So I'm glad that you could smile at my silliness. But it's really, I have two women. Dr. Dona sees the courtesy and respect. And, my question is, if you listen to each other, do you see how you can maybe help each other's business? Because I do, and I'll give you my example. So I'm not good with names. I'm very good with stories. So excuse my delivery sometimes. So in my mind, what I'm hearing is Miss Fleming has a tool and a device that if I go to the husband, Jose, if I pronounce your name correctly. Thank you. So Miss Fleming, so Jose has a family business where I remember as a kid, right? My great grandmother lived with my grandparents and everyone just took care of her. But the next generation, you got put in a nursing home or a skilled care or some type of service. So Miss Fleming, how would your device, if they were able to offer to their clients to help look after their clients? Do you see where there's a shared business opportunity here, or am I missing it? I'm asking as I'm seeing it, but I could also be ignorant. And so this is an open dialogue conversation. Jose, you nodded. So how about you chime in first? Because maybe.
Well, let me explain. My
Yep.
device falls under actually three categories now. Personal emergency response system. We have been approved by Medicaid. And also assistive technology under NJT. We have, we're in 5 states that we've partnered with home care agencies, assisted living. Because we are approved by Medicaid, we now support these individuals under those 2 categories. We added additional health and management support, which is now falling under the category of remote patient monitoring. And that's what I spoke to Dr. Flowers today about, what the services we can provide as it relates to RPM.
So perfect. So like to me, remote, what was that term?
Remote patient monitoring, personal emergency response system, which is PERS.
Right. But the monitoring. So Jose, it sounds like you have the hands-on touch care training your nurses, right? But what I'm hearing is technology that may enhance the services you're already providing. Are you hearing the same thing, or am I just ignorant, not knowing your business?
No, you absolutely, you're hearing the right thing because what Ms. Fleming is mentioning that we actually have seen it where family members or they do have where they have what they call it, a combined kind of, well, we'll say combined kind of care. But it's because remember, as we mentioned earlier, the main goal of, caring for the loved ones is safety, is trust, is, it's overall like to make sure that the family member is taken care of. So adding that device will definitely will help the family, knowing that not just the personnel is there that's gonna care for the person. Hmm.
Thank you. So that's what we're about at the Happy Spot. We're a community. We're an international based community, but we focus local. We scale global. So solving business problems for us is what we do. So I'm going to put upon the two of you is please shoot an email to Dr. Dona and let's coordinate a Zoom conversation offline, right? And we could help you kind of facilitate and build out the relationship within our community. And so within our community, what that means is we navigate in between the 5 boroughs and North Jersey, right? And complement, because we know that everyone travels through those communities and wind up somewhere else in the country.
That's true.
Right? It's let's call it the 6 boroughs, right? And so it would be just such an honor to help do that. Now, at the Happy Spot in our community, we have our weekly gatherings for business entrepreneurs. So now I'm going to shift the gear and ask, have Miss Brooklyn, I see your name, but have you ever heard of an entrepreneur and an intrapreneur? Because I'd love to have your viewpoint if you've ever heard of what an entrepreneur is, because you and your husband are that, and what an intrapreneur is.
I've heard of entrepreneur, definitely. The entrepreneur, not so much.
Sure. So we're following a business book, which can go online. And so what we do here is give people our philosophy. And so the word entrepreneur is just the growth statement of I'm doing business internationally on a Zoom call. I speak weekly with my business partners in Spain, in Portugal, in the Netherlands, and we're about to gift money to Ghana. We're going to gift money to Ghana from Newark, New Jersey, because now we have technology. So it's still the people and the technology focused on wellness.
Just want to introduce that my band has 10 languages because we're looking to go into international.
So
To
when
be
you say,
what you call an internationalpreneur. How you say entrepreneur?
sure. So I know it's a tongue twister, right?
Yeah, I love it though. I love it.
Yeah. So if you go to my website, the book is called Global Class, and the word I just used is called intrapreneur.
Entrepreneur. Okay.
So if I could have a little fun here. So when I was a kid growing up in Queens, my father ran the business out of our house. Out of the house. And then one day, the next door neighbor, we lived in a row house. He called me, made a joke about my sister. He called her a derogatory name. And I was probably about 7 or 8. I was with my best friend and I looked at him and I looked at my neighbor and my sister. And so I punched the kid. You don't call my sister a name. Now, I didn't like her, but you don't call her a name. Now, I only share that it's because we can all laugh at our silliness of when we were 8 years old of what we were doing. But my other best friend that was standing there is still a dear friend of mine. We're 59. We're friends since we're 1 year old. And my safe place was I got chills. I swear I got chills. I would knock on my wall at night in my bedroom and our walls were attached and he would knock back and I knew I was safe.
Right.
And I get
That's
chills as I say that. And I'm sitting here with 2 great people. I have Joseph Medina, who is our podcast engineer. And so Joseph came over from the DR back in 1985 and has excelled and succeeded in his life and expanding in the community. And we have another young man, I won't say his name, but sitting in on our podcast, because that's how you build communities, right? We have an oral exchange while we're focused. So everyone hopped on here today. And so you come in with one business mindset, right? But I was raised this way. And when I say raised this way, meaning, right, the neighbor, right, Gwen McGee, she was a mother next door neighbor where I worked, and Angela Salas was the woman that looked at me when I was 5 years old. And so it's bringing all of our cultural wisdom. But the one thing is about wellness, and Dr. Dona brought us all here for a reason. So it's our responsibility to continue going on doing that. With that being said, I'd love to open up the conversation to cannabis and ketamine. So no one has to reply because sometimes it may be an uncomfortable conversation. I have said to people, I've been doing cannabis since I'm 12 for 47 years. I consistently get high every day. Just recently, a friend of mine said I should try ketamine. Now, we've talked about ayahuasca, I've talked about psilocybin, and so some of those drugs do scare me, but looking for wellness. So in the elder generation, are they providing cannabis or ketamine, or what are they doing to try and help settle those older generations? And this is an open topic of floor, so anybody please chime in and share your thought, and then we're going to go to break in a moment. Cannabis, ketamine, I bring silence to the table. Okay, I'll move on because it is such a hot button. I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. The silence in the room is like a drop mic. So I ask again, anybody want to chime in, or we'll just move off from that topic?
Oh, definitely not that. Yeah.
Great. So, but that's where our lives are right now, is that professionally, right? I will talk about that. I also respect that other professionals don't have that ability. We've done that on the podcast before, and I've had other people, right? So people can go back and go to Jack Thomas, The Happy Spot, and learn about that. We also did a special for alcoholism, and there's a drug out there that is overseas. I'm never good at remember pronouncing it, but that's the goal here, is bringing alternative wellness, right? Multicultural ethnicities, right? Locally. And so we're going to come back in our moment. And so our final segment is going to be, what's your business help? How do we help grow one another, right? And how can we support your community? And we'll be right back. This is Jack Thomas at The Happy Spot. And we're so fortunate to have Dr. Dona's group of professionals coming in and filling us in. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Yeah.
Were you an essential worker during the pandemic? If you needed to learn stages of epilepsy, did you depend on advocates? Did you use new innovations to cope with mental and neurological issues? Maintaining high quality of life and keeping good mental health are what we all strive for. I'm Frank R. Harrison, host of Frank About Health, and each week top healthcare influencers, professionals, and innovators answer these questions and more. Stay tuned on Thursdays at 5 p.m. on talkradio.nyc, and I will continue to be frank about health with all of you.
Ready to serve up success with a splash? Hi, I'm Bruce Kramer, aka the Corporate Cockroach.
I'm the Renaissance woman, Angie Snowball.
And I'm your strategy doctor, Dr. Mel Tapes DeSange, inviting you to serving up success with a splash.
Join us as we shake things up with real talk and real strategies centered around awareness, action, and accountability.
And yes, there really is a cocktail involved. Please join us and sip your way to success.
Serving up success with a splash, where wisdom meets happy hours. Cheers!
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 You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc, now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
Welcome back, ladies. So I want to share the subtlety of the show and how we have built in the sounds that come in here. So for me, being neurodivergent, there's a tactic or a technique that I use that I learned from my martial arts instructor, Kiyoshi, who is from Ethiopia. And so this is a technique that we use, and we guarantee that we can calm employees down in 10 seconds. And it's real basic fundamental stuff. And so there's so many therapists and techniques and tactics. So in our community, these are some of the basic things. I learned this in Queens Village from Kiyoshi. It was a combination of what is called Goju and African kickboxing. So there's multiple movements, and that's what we're looking at here in our wellness community. There is no one right way. There's only a multitude of different pieces. So the sound that comes in is a binaural beat to settle you in, and it's a subtle move. Everything we do at the Happy Spot is a subtle move, because we have learned in time that we're going to speak easy. When I was younger growing up, right? Bless you. I didn't come from the speakeasy world. I came from the world of you're 14, go to work, and if you talk back to somebody, you got smacked in the back of the head, and everybody would either look at you and laugh or look away. And we understand that that way of that culture may be in certain communities, but it's frowned upon in many. So the best thing I can do is say, we just speak easy, and we know that we're trying to serve so many. So what is a business problem? And I open up the floor to all three of you, even though you're a husband and a wife, right? You're coming at it at two different viewpoints as business partners. And Ms. Fleming, since you're one, you get to have two responses. You're a free-floating individual. So this way we practice fairness in the community. Thank you for smiling, everybody. So what's a problem that's going on in your world that's stopping you from achieving your greatest goal? Everybody's on mute. So when we go to pause, we're all on mute. And I know that I see everybody thinking. So I'll give you an example of a problem I have. So my business is combining the HR community and the financial mechanisms. So I've solved the problem on how companies can provide benefits to their employees, while HR has solved the problem, but they don't know how to marry the two together. Dr. Dona and I have done this for years. We've now married the two together. And so it's a combination of technical and relationship. It's not just the technology, it's the people. And so that's what we try and promote within our community. And so we have monthly meetups and groups. And so what's a problem you had today? You know, and what's something you were like, hey, I wish I had a sounding board, right? And this is a safe space now. If we're in a public fashion and you don't feel comfortable, then don't make yourselves uncomfortable. But throwing it out there, what is something that you would like to open up? And if you don't want to talk about your business problem, what's a problem going on in the community you're serving that they're not getting enough or the right information? How do we get that information out there? Because we're a neutral third party. How do we help you promote that through Instagram or marketing, where it's not you saying it, but we at the Happy Spot are saying it, knowing that it will serve the greater community? Thoughts, anybody? Words, conversations?
Thank you so much, Jack. And as you're asking that question, a few things are going through my mind. And number one, I know a challenge that we have in the home care space is, I would say, having dedicated staff. And I think that's a big one, because, you know, sometimes the staff come, but they're quick to go, because maybe perhaps I would say maybe, you know, the rate is more somewhere else, or two, they just kind of, you know, they see something more appeasing. So I would say, you know, one of the things are dedicated staff. And also, in addition to that, a second thing is capital. How to increase in capital funding that we would get from, you know, the state. Those are the two things that just popped in my head as soon as you asked that question.
That's great. And I already have two responses. And so being neurodivergent, one thing I used to hide behind is I've seen so many things in business that people would say, oh, you can't know that answer so fast. You can't be that smart. Well, it's not that I'm that smart. I'm just backwards. And here's a word I use that my daughter's 29. She goes, Dad, don't say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to use the R word. I'm retarded.
Hmm.
Now, in our society, it's frowned upon to say that, but being neurodivergent and being autistic, I've been tested and I'm not like the other children. So thank you for smiling. Miss Fleming, you look so serious. There we go. I want to make sure I got to look at the young man. No, leave the kid in there. Bring him back. That's what this is about. Let the family learn. When my father ran the business out of the house, I was 8 years old. Yeah, hey, what's your son's name?
His name is Nathaniel. Nathaniel and Joshua. Come say hello.
Gentlemen, thank you. Welcome to your first business meeting. You guys look fantastic. So now we're going to go back to talking to everybody else. You're in 121 countries. Right? Think of that. They're entrepreneurs, right? It's amazing because this is going to go out there and go live. I lost my thought on the two things. I'm sorry. I got taken away. I really get taken in by kids because really one of my attractions with Dr. Dona in time, she has a daughter, Scotland. Scotland is 10. I know her since she's 2 or 3. And she sits in on all the calls and I'm with her. And so it's the beauty of parenting in today's universe, and the kids get to see mom and dad in another environment. And that's how we love to cross share that generational wealth. As silly as it may sound, is as simple as it can be. Sometimes our business problems, right, are as simple as they sound, as simple as they can be. So for yourself, if you would like, right, good qualified help, right, retention tools. So there are there's a tool called a 101J, and Walmart had used it for years. And in 2006, the federal government put some new rules in on how to use it. In other words, it was such a good tool. Walmart did such a good job with it. Federal government said, we got to look into this and regulate it a little. So that is a strategy that we could talk offline, right? Whether depending on the state and what you're looking to do, is those employees that you train them, you bring them on, and then someone for $2 more, they jump ship. You could remind them, hey, we have this retention tool in place that if you stay with us for a period of time, this is your benefit.
And
Have you ever heard of the tool before?
No, I don't believe I have heard that before.
So I'm an expert on this, right? And so I used to execute these things. I'm not here to execute it. Follow up with Dr. Dona. We could talk about how I could explain it to you. And if you don't have somebody in your world, Dr. Dona and I will facilitate to get a professional that can then do the presentation. We're going to come up on a close in a moment. So Miss Fleming, you get the final sound out of what's a business problem or something that you'd want to throw out here on the table, or how do you see us building a better community in this technology and wellness world so that you can help us lead and guide into the end of our time? You're on mute. I'm sorry. I should have.
Yes, I appreciate the platform, being able to be part of your community. Right now, like I said, we're in 5 states. So I do a lot of traveling to educate and also inform about Blackbird. And also I'm partnering with very good agencies right now. So the problem that I have is time. Sometimes I get very exhausted, but it's very meaningful. And I realize that I do believe that once I get Blackbird to its fullest potential, and as our famous saying is, we're saving lives one wrist at a time. And that's what I feel that we're able to do.
I love that. Saving lives one wrist at a time.
That is our motto.
That is so great. I love that. Well, what's interesting is your challenge that you have for yourself is not so dissimilar than your friends over on the other side. The difference is, how do you replicate yourself
Oh, yes.
right? And so you need to have either a trusted person, but at the same time, we could show you how to tie a financial tool that's a financial benefit to your company and it retains those people. So if you start looking for people, you could throw out there, and if you join and you stay with us for this period of time, some people do it for 1 year, some people do it for 10, some people do it longer. But those are some of the techniques that we did in large corporations that we bring to everyday people. So we're coming to an end. I'm just so grateful to have everybody here. And so I throw the ball in your court. We'll have your video up. You can use it for your business. You can use it for your marketing. You could reach out to us and talk about how, if you wanted to contract our services and how to join our community, we're running a promotion this month and we'll get into that. It's going to be $198 a month. And you could join the community, and Dr. Donal just put it out there. With that being said, so grateful for having everybody. We're going to end up here. And what's one last thing that you want to give as a gratitude or thankful for coming on today? Each one of you, what's one thing? I'm grateful to have the energy of kindness in the room. What's something everybody would like to add in there?
I'm thankful for good people and great relationships.
Love that.
I'm thankful just to be here, to be able to share, be able to hear, to see that there's a lot of, good things out there that we can take advantage of and bring to our community. I'm grateful to that.
Well, I'm going to leave that the husband spoke for the family because the boys were there and we're coming to the end. With that being said, thank you, everybody. This is Jack Thomas at the Happy Spot, and may we all, as one community, heal one another. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good night.